Goblins! My name is Jody and I'm the Goblin Girl. I'm a 43-year-old gaming girl and I'm here to show you how to get into gaming, no matter what your age. In this video, we're going to go over the Hunter class, the different kinds of specializations hunters have, some of the pets that I tend to use, and some of the abilities that I use most. So, let's get into it. Now, I'm logged into my max level hunter. This is not the hunter that I've been using to actually get into some of the beginning level areas, since she is max level. And as you can see, she has a bunch of abilities set up on her bar, but don't worry about that because we're actually going to mess with some things here. Also, just so you know, I do have some add-ons, which are things that kind of improve some of the livability of the game, which we can talk about at another video. But for this one, I just want to kind of focus on Hunter and what some of the cool things about Hunters are. So the first thing I want to talk about are the different specializations. There's 3 specializations for Hunter, which most classes have 3. Druid is the only one that currently has 4. And there's one other one, which is Demon Hunter, which only has 2 specializations. The first specialization we're going to talk about is Beast Mastery. I'm just going to switch to it, and just in case you don't know, you can actually switch specs very easily. You just have to be somewhere where you're rested. So if your character's kind of glowing with this ZZZZ, that means that you're resting, so you can change it there. Most cities and towns you can do this in. You're going to change by just clicking into the one that you want to use and then click on Activate. So in this case, I picked Beast Mastery. Beast Mastery, you generally tend to focus more on your pets. And this means you can actually use some of the more powerful pets, in fact, as a result. So, for example, if I go to a stable master, I can actually go to my stable, and you'll see this character has quite a large number of pets. Still not 20 pages of pets, because I mean, that's a lot of pets, but you can get extra, more interesting pets such as core hounds, which here's a core hound, and I'll bring that over so you can see that. That's kind of a cool pet. You can also do, where's my, Spirit Beast. Spirit Beast is another really cool one. Worms, I think you can do. Quillen is another really interesting one. And let's see, what else do we have? Lizards, Bright Eyes, Worms. I just called something Bright Eyes. That's the actual name of the animal that I had. But we'll start off here. And there's 3 general types of pets you can get. The first pet is called Tenacity. Tenacity pets tend to be more like tanks, so they will have a higher health pool, they will do a little bit less damage, but they'll keep you alive longer. So to give you an idea, let's see, ferocity, do I have any cunning? I don't have any cunning out, so let's do one that's cunning as well. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is go to my call pets, and I'm going to call out the Tenacity pet, which is fine. That's the one I want. This particular class will actually let me do 2 pets. That's one of the talents that we'll go into. But my main pet, which is the one that you actually see here, which is my stag, is a Tenacity pet. Now, just like Hunters and all classes have a ability book, your pets have an ability book as well. So you'll see Growl is one of the most common abilities that you'll want to keep out there. That is the one that actually taunts your target. This particular class also has a dash, which is a very quick movement speed. This one has Nature's Grace, which is a 10-second cooldown, which lets you remove some kind of ability, and then Smack, which does a large amount of damage. So we're going to put this one down, we're going to put Smack down, and we'll put down dash as well. But you'll see, if you go to your pet tab, you can actually, you can't change them, but you'll see it tells you this is a tank, that because of it, they have, you and your pet will actually gain 7% of your increased maximum health, which again will keep you, that's that survival. And survival of the fittest allows you to reduce all damage you and your pet takes by 20% for 6 seconds. This is your call, your command ability that you have for each of the different classes. Ferocity is a damage dealer that you typically use out in the main world. So again, they're driven by, you know, they need to pursue their prey. Think about a cat and a mouse, right? Cats are pretty ferocious. I love cats. These beasts stop at nothing to achieve victory, so you and your pet are going to gain 15% leech, which allows you to drain a little bit of health from whatever you're attacking. And your ability is this haste buff, which you'll notice a lot of the other classes have this haste buff that you can do at a boss kind of level that lets you increases haste for your entire party, your entire raid for 40 seconds. You can only do it again every 10 minutes, and the ability itself has a 6-minute cooldown. Cunning is another dangerous, another damage dealing, but it's generally used more in player versus player combat or PvP combat. It gives you and your pet 12% increased movement speed, so you'll walk around faster. And then Master's Call removes all root and movement impairing effects, which you often see in PvP. Players will often give you a root effect, so that's kind of part of why that class of pet is good for that. So I'm going to go out and show you some of the pet's abilities. So I'm going to attack something out here, and my pet is going to go in, and it's going to nicely tank for me. I don't have to worry about what it's doing. I'll explain some of my abilities in just a minute. I just want to kind of show you what some of my pet abilities are. So that was nice and easy. I didn't have to worry about taking damage because my pet completely managed that for me. So I'm going to dismiss this pet and bring out another one. So let's look at dismissing. Bye. And we'll call in the cunning pet. So this one's a cunning pet, so again it's going to do more damage, and this time it's going to give me the Master's Call, which would remove impairing other effects. This one also has smack and growl, but you'll notice it doesn't have quite as many other abilities. So if I go to my pet ability, here's the Master's Call, which I happen to have just sitting on my dash, and dash as well, but for some reason it's not letting me put all three here. I do not know why, but that's okay. We're going to go up against this guy, and you'll see he's going to do quite a bit of damage, but there's not, you know, again, for most things, you're not going to have to worry about things hurting you as a hunter, because pretty much any of the pets can tank pretty decently. It's just if you get into a moment where you have, you know, 5 or 6 things against you, or even 3 or 4 things against you, your tenacity pet is going to do a lot better damage in keeping you alive than your cunning pet or your ferocity pet. So let's take away that one and show you, where's my pet list? Over here, the Corehound. Now, Corehounds are kind of cool because they're a specialized pet. You can't get them if you're not a Beastmaster. And they have obsidian skin, which will cool and harden their skin and kind of prevents more damage taken, which is kind of a cool ability. They also have dash. But they have an exotic ability that, again, only exotic animals or exotic pets can have. And this one is when it takes melee attacks. When the Corehound takes melee attacks, it infuses its hide with molten lava, causing 124 fire damage to all further melee attackers for 10 seconds. and that'll happen every 10 seconds or so. So if we go back here and attack this, you're going to see and actually I should probably heal him, because the first time you take one of your animals out, after a while it does do this. But you can see it kind of has this cool effect where it's got a shield on it and it had a little bit of fire too. Alright, so that's the core hound. And spirit beast is another one, which my spirit beast happens to look like a cat. These are rare exotic creatures that you kind of have to find a little bit in the wilds, depending on the one that you're looking for. Let's heal her. And let's look at her abilities. She's got growl, like every other animal does. Claw. Dash. But also spirit mend. So this one, the spirit beast heals the current friendly target for 664 plus an additional. So this is actually a healing pet, which is very rare. Usually healing or pets do not heal. This also has a special ability of a pulse of spirit releases from the spirit beast, removing one magic effect, because that's really because it's a tenacity pet. There's also survival of the fittest, which reduces damage that you and your pet take. So it's got a lot of different cool abilities. And it also hides, which is kind of cool. Just going out to find something to kill. Yes, I know I have PvP talents. So you can see it took down that animal pretty quickly. And let's reduce that one. Reduce. Dismiss. And we'll bring our final one out, which is Aquilin, which is dead. Alright, revive. Can't have the pet if the pet is dead. So there's the Aquilin. It looks kind of like a cat. It's from the Mists of Pandaria expansion, this particular animal. And I probably should look at the abilities, but that's fine. It can kill things really quickly. Let's look. This one actually gave us a buff, which is the max health increased by 1% and mastery increased by 25. So this one has a stone armor, which is a special ability. If you fall below a certain percent of health, you'll actually get a nice armor buff. Growl. Exotic abilities, Eternal Guardian. So when you're used, your pet will miraculously return to life with full health. I could have used that a second ago, couldn't I have? That would have been nice. Oh, and this pet bar, for some reason, only has one ability on it. I do not understand that. That looks like a bug. Alright, so that's kind of my pets, which, you know, it's very nice when you have the Beastmaster, because you can have all of these different exotic pets which have a lot of different abilities. So the abilities that I have mainly on my bar, which the way I set up my bar is I have my main abilities on my bar, and I usually use 1 through 5. And then anything else that I want to use, kind of not as often, but pretty frequently still, I put up as Alt 1 through Alt 4. So these are kind of also quick abilities that I want to access. So the first thing I always access is Cobra Shot, which causes a bunch of damage and can reduce the cooldown of Kill Command. Kill Command is actually a pet ability where when you use it, it tells the pet to go and attack the thing that you're telling it to attack, and does a little bit more damage. So if you use this, it will reduce the cooldown of this, which lets you use that more often. Barb Shot is kind of like, I believe it's a DOT. Yeah, it's a DOT, which is nice. Arcane Shot is just a basic, you know, hey, I still have energy, I might as well use it. Bestial Wrath kind of increases the size of you and your pet and makes you do a lot more damage as a result. Multi-Shot lets you attack multiple things. Intimidation makes the thing stun whatever creature you're looking at. I don't really use Tar Trap. Concussion Shot kind of slows the thing down, which is good, I guess, if something's getting to melee on you, but most things won't get to melee on you. Hunter's Mark makes it so you can always see the target. There are some, like, so if it goes hiding or something, you can still see it in your map. It'll actually show up as a little golden dot. But there are some talents that let you improve this. Kill Shot is something you can use right before it's dead that will instantly kill it generally. Healing Pet, this is just your quick, hey, let's heal the pet. And then Counter Shot lets you stop spell casting, which is really good when you're doing groups and raids. Feign Death is something like if you're dying, you can pretend that you're dead, which will have the monster attack your pets, but will generally not have it attack you. Exhilaration will heal you and your pet. Aspect of the Wild gives you some extra focus, which is really good in dungeons and raids. Most of these are more dungeons and raids, like removing effects from shots. Disengage will jump you backwards. Turtle will basically give you a temporary shield where you can't attack, but they can't attack you. Kind of gives you a little bit moment to heal yourself. Multi-shot is, again, the same thing as it was there. I just have it in 2 places for some reason. And Cheetah makes you run fast. So, and then all around, I kind of have some ancillary things that I don't really use that often that, you know, you can have them out if you want to. It's kind of fun, but not necessary. Let's see. Yeah, Soul Shape lets you turn into something that's something to do with the actual expansion, not pets, classes, which is fine. And then specific to Beast Mastery, you'll have your multi-shot apparently is specific to Beast Mastery, although other specs have it. Kill Command, your Intimidation, the Wild, the Barb Shot, the Bestial Wrath, Cobra Shot, and the other 2 shots are all specific to Beastmaster. So Beastmaster, again, it's about your pet. It's about making sure that your pet can attack for you. You can use special pets. So it's really good if you want kind of a tanking aspect of it. These are the talents that I happen to pick. You can pick what you want. Animal Companion lets you have 2 different pets. So this is the one. The Quillen is the main one, and it calls some other secondary one from your stable. Ascent of Blood allows you to get an extra barbed shot. Natural Mending allows you to every 30 focus reduces exhilaration by 1 second. Spitting Cobra can sometimes do a little Spitting Cobra, which is kind of cool. Reduces cooldowns of your aspects. When you do a barbed shot, your pet will stomp the ground, which is kind of neat. And this increases the damage of your pet. So these are, again, all focused on your pet. Now, marksmanship is more based on your damage, just your damage, so without your pet. Now, you can still have a pet. So, for example, I can call in my deer, my stag, but I can't call in a second pet because it's not based on about my pet. It's really based on my damage. So if I tried calling, so if I dismissed the deer and I tried calling, for example, the corehound, it's going to say you can't do that. You have to be a special spec for that. So I can call in the stag though. The pet classes again are still the same. That doesn't change. That's always the same. Now for this one, for the main abilities that I use is Aimed Shot, which is a timed shot that it takes focus. So you'll see it uses a lot of time and focus. So if I do this, it's going to use, almost half of my focus. it's also a very powerful attack. Arcane Shot is the same Arcane Shot that we've been using. Steady Shot is the same Steady Shot we've been using before. Mend Pet, Multi-Shot, Bursting Shot. A lot of these you've seen from me playing the intro with my other character because that character is a marksman hunter. So same thing that you've seen all along. The last one is Survival Hunter, and Survival Hunter, generally speaking, is not a bow or gun class. It's actually a staff or polearm class. So I don't know, do I even have a polearm? That's shoulders. Technically my fishing pole is a polearm. So this will let me change from using some of the other abilities that I have to this. And I haven't played this that much, so I know you can do a carve, which apparently needs a two-handed weapon. My fishing pole is not a two-handed weapon. Two-handed. So there's muzzle, which interrupts spell casting. There's a carve spell, which is just a damaging attack, actually a sweeping attack, so it's more like an AoE attack. There's a vicious normal attack. There's a harpoon attack, which brings something closer to you. So, for example, this is a two-handed weapon. That's interesting. So it's not actually counting that, so I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to see these abilities. Yeah, those are your main attacks. Coordinated assault. These are like a bomb for your target, which is kind of interesting. And you still have a pet, so you can still call a pet. But again, you cannot call the specialized pets. You can call, you know, the stag would work fine in this case. And you still have the ability to kill command, which is kind of nice. It's kind of like a moderate between your pet class and the other class. The other class is more meant to actually not even use a pet. You have a passive ability on the marksman that actually says you will do more damage if you don't have an active pet. So if I sent away my pet, yeah, I know. Oh, I don't have one. You're going to see it actually gives me an extra damage boost. The problem is then, of course, yeah, that's actually, where's my weapon? No, I want to wear that. Bow. You know, you'll see I'll do a lot of damage very quickly. See, I just killed it in 2 shots. I would say that's a lot of damage very quickly. Let's see, hunters use male armor, so all of your armor you're going to want is male. They use the marksman and beast hunter use bows and guns. The survival uses polearms and other two-handed weapons. Yeah, this is Hunter, and it has been fun. So if you have any questions about Hunter, feel free to drop a note. This is not the best laid out probably for end game, because I have not been playing a lot of end game. This is mostly just me kind of tinkering around with it. But if you have any questions about Hunter, feel free to ask, and I will be happy to get you the answer, either from my own knowledge or from other knowledge base sources. So with that being said, thank you for watching The Goblin Girl, where we like to get you into gaming. Please like and subscribe to learn more about World of Warcraft and other games, and how to get into gaming. Thanks, and have a great day.